What's up, everyone? It's Jen from Citizen Science Alliance. Has anyone else noticed that there seems to be an official narrative with the Apophis asteroid? It seems like any news reporter is expected to toe the line and say that it is not going to hit us within the first sentence or two or in their title. I did a Google search of Apophis, and these were the first two articles that came up, and they both do that. Let's talk about, here's the Wikipedia page. Yeah, let's read this last sentence at the bottom of the paragraph. During the short time when it had been of greatest concern, Apophis set the record for the highest rating ever on the Torino scale, reaching level 4 on December 27th, 2004. Now let's look at the Torino score today. Here's Apophis. One, two, three, fourth one down. Go across that white line there. It's a 6. You see that number, rarity? That's the highest that any object has ever been. And look, there's another one that's almost just as high behind it, a 5. Wait, have we even heard about this? It doesn't even have a cool name, so I don't think so. But I did this, I separated this by lunar distances instead of astronomical units because I think it's easier to comprehend. And just want to give you an idea of how close Apophis is going to come, according to NASA. This is what NASA is saying. Lunar distances, 0.099. So one lunar distance is the distance between the Earth and the Moon. It's only 10% of the distance to the Moon. That's how close it's going to come to us. If you cut that space into 10 pieces, it's going to be in the first little piece next to us. And then there's 9 other pieces between it and the Moon. Like, that is how close this sucker is coming. I feel like there's no way it can't hit us. You know, I don't think it's anything to be really freaked out about. I think it's something to be aware of, though, and I think that NASA is trying to keep us in the dark about this. I'm not one, well, yeah, I guess I am one for conspiracy theories, but I'm skeptical of them. Until I see some really good evidence, I don't just buy into everything. But I do think that they are squirming in their boots about this one, and I think that they are trying to keep information hush-hush, and I'm going to show you why I think so, because it's not just me saying so, like that. I actually have evidence of this. So last year, like I said, I've wanted to do a video about this for a long time. So last year I took some screenshots because I wanted to show the first discrepancy that I noticed. Oh, also note that it was upgraded on the Torino scale to a 6, and none of us heard a word about that, right? That's weird. Because the whole world is pretty much aware of this thing. There's a lot of people who are following news on Apophis. So it should have been quite newsworthy, and it was kept quiet, as far as I can tell. Close approach of Earth, the distance would be 0.00025 astronomical units. Their numbers. And then if you slide it over, you see nominal distance, minimum distance, maximum distance. They were all the same at 0.00025. But their orbit diagram said a completely different number, 0.016 astronomical units. Well, that doesn't make any sense at all. If you look at the bottom, the date's right, April 13th, 2029. That's the close approach date that they had there. If you look back, April 13th, 2029. Okay, I had the time wrong, but still, we'll go through 21 hours. I'll show you. I go through 0 hour, it's 0.016. That number should have 2 more zeros in front of that 1. There's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 0.016, 3 o'clock. These numbers, this Earth distance number usually changes quite a bit as you get closer to the close approach hour. But 5, 6, this is just going hour by hour through that day, through April 13th. And as you see, the number, that distance doesn't ever change. They would have you thinking that we're running parallel, but unfortunately I didn't take pictures because now it's quite different. But as you can see, the blue line represents the Earth's orbit, The white line is Apophis's orbit, and they cross. There's really no way we're not going to be hit by at least a piece of this thing. Okay, so this was back on January 22nd, 2022. Again, 0.016 AU. We lost the time at the bottom there, but here's 16 hour, 17. Go all the way through the end of the day and into the next day, 0.016 AU. When I found out they upgraded it on the Torino scale accidentally, I went back to this website and did this search again. And all these numbers were different. They had this was just like a month ago. They had numbers that were like to the 4th power. It was really confusing, but I sat down and I figured it out, and there was still a major discrepancy, and I was going to do a video that day. I wish I took screenshots, but I didn't. I got distracted and I ended up not doing it. But now today, I went back, so now it says that on April 11th at 10 o'clock, it will be 0.018 astronomical units. And that number doesn't change until April 15th at 1 o'clock. Then at 2 o'clock, you get 0.019. It starts moving further away. Just to show you, here's April 13th. This is how it looks today. April 13th at 15 hours, it's 0.018. So just to show you that I'm not trying to hide anything, it really doesn't change. It doesn't go any lower. The 0.016, that doesn't show up anymore. And that number still doesn't match the number in the orbit parameters box that says 0.00025. So there's just, all of this should tell you that they are very much more concerned than they are letting on. I think the reason they're manipulating the numbers in the orbit diagram is because if they actually put 2 zeros in front of that one, the diagram would freak people out because they would be right on top of each other. Like they actually were like that before. I'm not doing this to scare anybody. I want to make sure that everyone understands this is not a fear-mongering video. If you're interested in finding out why I don't believe there's any reason for panic, then you definitely want to watch my next video. So you might want to subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you again soon. I can't wait to make that next video for you. All right, thanks. Have a great day.